Okay, we have a different shape here, and one thing I'd like to point off is over to the left, I'm going to write our previous equation down. We had x squared minus y squared is equal to 4. A couple things that we're going to be able to find out because of this and this. So when we're subtracting x and y versus adding, it's going to create a different shape. And as we progress through this section, you'll be able to differentiate between which shape it's going to be by just looking at a few minor details, and that's one of them. So right off the bat, I know I'm working with a slightly different shape. We're still going to go ahead and solve for y. We'll do this by hand, and then I'll have a subsequent video directly below this one that will do it on the graphing calculator. But we need to still solve for y, so we're going to do that first. And so I'm going to move the 9x over to the other side, and then I'm going to divide by 4. Let me erase that. That plus didn't come out very good. Okay, and divide it by 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. And don't forget, when we take the square root, we got to put that plus or minus in front. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put the picture on the actual image, but I'm also going to graph it on the calculator too. But this would get y all by itself, so we can plug it in. And don't forget, when we use our calculator, we have to have two separate equations listed in our calculator, one with the plus and one without, or one with the minus and one without. To simplify this, I know that the square root's going to everything, so I could make life easy and just take the square root of plus or minus negative 9x squared plus 36 all divided by 2. So when I put it in my graphing calculator, I'm going to go ahead and write it out the way it needs to be done. Got to put parentheses, close the parentheses, and then divide by 2. And that would go ahead and be the way that we need to enter it on the calculator. So the shape that we're going to get is we're going to get these two guys right here, and then we're going to get another one oh, that's the wrong spot. Right here and right here. And so it's going to be circular in shape, but notice the distance from the center to this edge is 2, and the distance from the center to the top of the circular shape is 3. So technically we have two different radius. We have the one to the one edge, which is 2, and one to the other edge, the top of the circular shape, which is 3. This makes it an ellipse because it's not perfectly circular. It doesn't have the same distance all the way around. What I would like for you to notice too is notice what's in front of the x. It's a 9. What's the square root of 9? It's 3. So notice what we're dealing with here. We also have this 4 here, and what's the square root of 4? It's 2. It looks backwards. There's things that we're going to do with these equations, and it'll make more sense, but these numbers play a role in how far we are from the center of the shape. And that's how we would use our algebraic skills to find a equation that we can work with and then actually graph it on our calculator. We're going to get to the point where we're going to look at these equations differently, and we don't need to use these algebraic steps to graph it. We can graph it just looking at the equation and finding key points.